Good morning. Yeah, so let me welcome everybody to UST and also to Integrated System and Design, ISD. So my name is Ching Choi. I'm the head and also professor in the divisions. This presentation, I will use English to present with the audience maybe actually can only speak English. But if you have any questions, you can use Cantonese, Mandarin, whatever language, as long as I know to ask the questions. So in the next like a half an hour, I will try to give you an idea on what is IST is. IST is a very unique program that you will never see in other universities in Hong Kong and even in this region of the world for that. So it is a unique program in UST that actually we started like 5 years ago. And then we have already 2 cohort of graduates. So we talk about what is it about. So first I will talk about why we create this program. So what's the need and what we expect. And then we talk a little bit on the details on how we run this program, what is this program about, what we learn for this program. So nowadays, the world is facing a lot of big problems. We've got a grand challenge. Not only that, even actually when we do business, it is not business as usual anymore. So there's a lot of changing in terms of technology, in terms of environments, that no longer we do business or even actually try to solve problems the world is facing just based on a certain group of people working. Instead, we need a group of different type of people. We call it multidisciplinary people together, work as a team to coming up with solutions in business solutions, in social solutions like that. Traditional education, we actually were focused on teaching knowledge in a certain area, develop so the student in a certain area make an expert on that. But as we know that AI become more and more common, so now the young generations, when they look at a career, they no longer just work in one career. You change career a lot in the next 30, 40 years. And more important is actually is that we think, so next generation of technology and innovators not only have to be technical strong, but more important, you know how to work with others. And more important, you know how to define your problem and how to actually work with the user together to find out the solutions. Traditional way of education cannot fulfill this type of nurturing this type of talents. So in view of that, actually create this program to try to target and nurture the next generations of technologists and innovators. So we believe that the next generation of innovators and technologists have this kind of attributes that we need to train them on that. First, they have to be independent thinkers and a good analytical mindset. And also, a lot of times, you need to know when you work on an issue, working on a product, working on a service, you need to know your user. You need to be empathy of user. You need to understand how people act on that. The third is actually problem-solving skill is important. That is an important thing we train students in university. But more important, we think actually is the skill, how to identify the problem is even more important. So instead of you know how to solve a problem, now, but you only depend on people give you a problem, that may not be enough for the next generation someday. So therefore, the skill, how to identify a problem, is a very important part that we want the student to acquire. And also, not only that, but actually you need to convert your idea into real solutions, not just writing a report, not just taking an examination, but really realize it, have a hands-on way to demonstrate your ideas. And finally, you need to work with other people together. You need to have an integrated multidisciplinary knowledge with a human-centered mindset. So in view of that, we created this program 5 years ago. We created this division 6 years ago, trying to tackle this issue. We think actually full education of different areas, including technology competence, including design and system thinking, and how to work with the user together, and also entrepreneurship spirit. That's the few things we capture. We want to actually our next generation of students that can acquire. So we built this program. We launched it in fall 2018. It's the first cohort we take in. So it's the first what we call experiential learning degree in program here. So with this attribute, we want to create traditional way of what we call lecture-based, like what we're doing right now. So the professor standing here and then teach the class is no longer valid, no longer the way to education. Because most of the time, knowledge, you can go to internet. You Google it. You know that already. But more importantly, we want the student to learn through doing. Because we believe that actually if you, for example, that you do a DSE later, after you finish your DSE exam, I bet most of you will forget what you done. But you really apply your knowledge in working on a real projects that will be with you for your whole life. So therefore, we treasure a lot this is what we call project-based learning. So this is actually the main pedagogy approach that we're adopting in this program. So most of our courses actually will not have exam. So we still have some courses actually related to knowledge, transfer skill. We have exams. But a lot of courses that related to learn through doing, you're doing project instead of doing exam. In addition, every year 2, year 3, year 4, you need to do a large-scale project, what we call a year-long project, the whole year, 9 months, 10 months. You work with your teammate as a group. Your teammate will be responsible for different things. There's a multidisciplinary team. For example, we are actually working on what we call integrated systems, a system integrated together that actually composed of many different components, technology components, design components, user interface components together. So different students will have a different interest, working on different part of it. Then for each student, we design a pathway for them to acquire the knowledge in order to fulfill the project. So therefore, each student, besides the common courses they're taking, every student will take different type of courses. We call it this individualized pathway. We actually advise the student what course you're taking. The course is not necessarily from our divisions. In fact, the university is actually very supportive for this program. Our students can take any classes within the university. School of engineering classes, science classes, business classes. You need it, you can take it. And this is then we focus on what we call learner-centric pedagogy and also multidisciplinary projects. So this is the main unique pedagogies that you will not find it in other programs. You will find it in other universities. So with that, we want to build up the students in different areas, technical competence, design thinking, interpersonal skill, teamwork. That's a very important part because ultimately, when you go to work, you will not work alone. You need to work as a team together. And then we need to actually let the student experience that starting from day one when they come into universities. So this is a very important part. Hands-on prototype skills, so hands-on skills is important. You're not actually looking at just I write a paper, that's it. When you do hands-on, you know actually what really is the problem here. You need to go through the process that you fail, coming back again to do it right. So this is a very important process when you're learning for that. And finally, entrepreneurship spirits. We have courses that cover that. But entrepreneurship spirits is not only about you start a company, but more about the mindset, so your attitudes. Okay, you do not worry about failure. Take risks. Okay, grit. Okay, persistence. So these are all entrepreneurship spirits. So that we want the student to have that. So with that, actually, we design a program like this. So this is common curriculums. So common curriculums, so actually the university have a common core. Every student in the university need to take it. And after that, so we have set of what we call fundamental design courses and also fundamental technical courses. That's build up the foundation. All our students will take the same common foundation course. But on that, then you will develop your technical staff. You will do your year-long projects. Then you will take some what we call advanced technical courses. Each student will be different. We actually advise the student, we talk to the students, understand the need. We design a pathway for them. So they can take courses from maybe CS, from EE, from physics, from business school, from marketing, in order to work on their projects on that. And with that, we also encourage students to participate in a lot of different things like overseas competitions, like exchange, internship, and research. In fact, a lot of our students are doing interns in local companies and also on local companies also. And because we actually students take a lot of their own dev stream in engineering, for example. Quite a number of students doing double majors if they are good. So that means to do a major in IST and do a double major in CS or EE. Or if not double major, you can do a minor in robotics or extended AI, all this together. So this actually will have flexibility for students to do this. So next, I'll give some idea what kind of courses. So the year 1, year 2, this is actually related to design. So I'll give a little bit more details about that. So some of the design software actually is related to design skill set and communications. So this is a required course. Every student will come in. The first course, one of the first course they need to learn how to sketch. Now sketch is not about drawing beautifully. Sketching idea is what? You can convert your mind or in your brain into something you can communicate with others. You don't need to draw it very beautiful, but how to draw it other people will understand. But a lot of time, because actual wording may not be the best way for communications. Drawing is one thing. So therefore, we have a course to teach you how to do sketching, and then a course to teach you graphic communications, how to use different color, different font communication, and also some course on brand design. So if you actually do a coming of products, so how to do branding. So this is some courses related to skill set and communications. And then so we have some set of courses talk about what we call design thinking. Design thinking is a very hot topic, or very popular right now. So almost the government, business sectors, everybody is talking about design thinking, the process, how we use design to solve different problems. So we actually have a set of courses actually to cultivate the design thinking knowledge of the students. So they include 5 steps. Design thinking includes 5 steps. First is what we call empathize. That means you get empathy with the user, understand what the user needs in order to define a problem. Second is to define a problem. Okay, the problem needs to be actually satisfy the user's need. Okay, you need to understand what is facing the user, what pain point they have, and then define the problem. The third is after you define problem, then you do problem solving. Problem solving is what? Is on ideations on how you can solve the problem. You can come up with many solutions, coming up with brainstorming of different solutions. And then you pick the solution that you think is right, and then you do prototype. And then you do test. And after that, you do iteration. So this is whole design process we're adopting throughout the 4th year when we do projects. And in the first year, we will actually teach you for different courses that actually cultivate this type of idea of design thinking. So this is one of the first course that you're coming. The first course you're taking introductions that go through the whole design process. You're going for a very active way to do it. So we have field trip observations and reverse engineering system integration to looking at how we build a system, how the system actually work with the environments, how to solve the society problem for that. And then we have another course on how to define problems. So that you can see that actually most of the course is about how to do different type of projects in order to actually cultivate or practice or experience this knowledge of that. And then we have a course on human-centered design, how to design a product that actually is suitable for human using on that. And apart from that, so we have courses on system thinking. So we work with our industry partner like the Tram, like Cathay Pacific, on actually looking at what their problem is and how can we build, look at the problem more systematic way and also build system to solve their problem for them. And then so with that, we have another type of design courses about, so more like design technology, design prototyping. So one of the courses is doing like digital design. So that means you learn how to do 3D modeling, okay, do rendering, do animation to show your idea in a more realistic way for that. It's the 3D modeling. And after that, so you have a course actually do freezing prototyping. That means actually how to learn to use different type of prototyping skill like 3D printing, so like the CNC machine, laser cutting, to build up a system. So this is our first year student doing, so I will show you some actually ideas of what they are doing in the course. So in the course, they are building like this remote car that actually climb up.
Ladies and gentlemen,
yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. Get ready.
you have some idea. So actually, after this talk, we have a lab tour. 11:30, you can actually go up to the lab. See that? Yeah. And then we have some actual technical and science foundation, including like programming courses, some math courses, physics course, and also some courses related to IoT, embedded systems, mechatronic system, and material science. So this is a set of courses you need to take, every student need to take. Afterwards, you actually try looking at different areas or different interests you're in, you can actually pick the course you are interested to develop your depth. Yeah, and also you need to take some courses related to project management, product management, and entrepreneurship elective. So ranging from product management developments to how to start a company, how to do like marketing on that. So this you can elective, you can take a few courses on that. And most important part is what we call the year-long projects. Every year, starting from year 2, you need to do a project with a whole year, working on different things. So all the projects actually ultimately what you're doing is defined by yourself. Professor will not give you the topics. Or we only give you a set of users or our industry partners. You will go down to talk to them, understand what they need, propose a project, and work on it. Yeah. So actually there's some examples projects. So this is our industry partners, so ranging from Tram, Dyson's, China Cam, so Philips, SoCam, and DJI, Huawei. So this is our industry partners, so they will work with, tend to come in with the projects. And also we have some technical consultants, the company like Infineon, Aero, so they're actually technically supporting our students to work on the projects. So some of the projects, like the year 2 projects working on green living, the topics we're giving is green living. Okay, so they come in with different ideas doing green hub, some actually related to environmental setup, some related to like the right-hand side is a device actually that help you calm down if you're tense. Yeah, and then so this is a year 3 project doing a VR music for music therapies. So we do a VR project, and then so looking at that, so and then so this is another year 3 project that actually design a device to help people to do napping in your office, in the school environments, what that. And some of this is with industry partners. So this is a 4th year project that student working with some hearing impaired association, how to help the hearing impaired, so to actually can get better in their daily life by automatically detecting the sound coming from that, and then automatically detect somebody calling you for that. And then so we're also working with some construction safety issues. So this is a design for the hearing impaired part of this. So the student not only knowing the user need, but they design the whole thing, including the electronic, the AI part, CS programming part, and also the shape, material, everything. And then they demonstrate it at the end of the year a real product to the partners. So this is the design for construction safety that actually won an award actually on the whole Hong Kong, all the university final year projects, they want to go award for that. So that actually this project is worked with like on, so they have actually the safety problem. How can we detect some moving crane part so that the worker will not be hit by the moving crane? So besides the project, actually students do a lot of competitions. So there's some example of students doing different competitions, getting some very good results. So this is about the program. So we'll talk about actually what is the target student we're looking for. So because of the natures, where our faculty to student ratio is very low. So that means one faculty to a small number of students. Most of the class are small size class. So we won't have 100 student classes. Okay? So therefore, we are not taking a lot of students. Every year, maybe 30 to 40 years, 30 to 40 students. So, but we are looking at very special type of students. We're looking for students that actually are self-motivated. You're inquisitive, so you're actually curious on a lot of things. Okay? So, and also active learner, because a lot of times you're not learned through normal lectures. You're learning through doing. When you do, you find out some problem. Will help you to acquire, and also you have to actively pursue the knowledge you want to do. And also you want to make your hands dirty. Okay, so this is an important part for that. And also you're passionate about technologies and developments, and also eager to be a future technology leaders and innovators for that. So a lot of you will ask, okay, how do we actually admit students? This is one of the few programs that we do program admissions. That means it's on the JUPAS. You can apply through the JUPAS for that. We directly take students from year one. Yeah. So, but because the nature of student we want to look at, so we are not using a normal method to actually admit students. So normally you just taking your examination result, and that's it. So for us, examination result is only part of it. But more important, so we have actually different components also. First is actually you go through an interview. The interview is more rigorous than normal interview. So other department interview may be interview for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you just talk about yourself. We are doing a half-day interview. So you go for a normal, so that's a traditional interview, but at the same time you come in to work on a project with other candidate students together on a half-day project. So you give a small project. The project is not any technical projects, but such project try to actually for us to observe your creativities, your teamwork, your communication skill, your willingness to work for others with them. And then, so you need to submit what we call design and technology project experience. So basically is something actually you tell us what's special about you. So anything. It's not necessarily design technology. So that's to understand you more, not just through your school result, but more on other part of yourself. Okay? And then to examine the academic result for them. So this actually is the way that we actually admit students. So usually the interview will be done after your JUPAS, after your DSE examinations. So most of you ask actually, what is the career perspective? This is actually very different from like traditional business degree or engineering. So if I do a civil engineer, I know what I'm going to do. But in fact, actually, so our career perspective is very broad. So after you can get future studies, then you can, if you're want to do a job, you can actually, quite a number of students doing startup, and also other one, we work in the companies, you can work as engineers, or technologists, or architects, consultant for that. In fact, actually, so this is our second year that we have graduated. We have graduate 2 cohort. And a lot of the company that actually hire a student came back to us, they really like our student. Why? Because our students do not need to train. They work on projects for many years. They have all this technical way to know how to work with the projects. Instead of we need to train is from other discipline. So in fact, so there's a career path of the 2 cohorts. We have actually about 40-something%, almost close to 50% students going to further studies. Actually, the further study in different areas, most of them in engineering, but actually quite a few are doing design in Europe. So we have students going to engineering, going to US for UPenn, for Carnegie Mellon's, going to Europe for ETH in Switzerland for that. And then we have students going to Milan doing design, feature center on design, and create media arts for that. So for the other half is actually some are doing research engineers, and then so entrepreneurs are industry designer. And actually this year we are interested. We have actually 3 students working in multinational companies like IBM and Deloitte, work as technical consultants. So these companies actually they have clients that really need to work on their projects. They need someone that actually can have more like a general holistic vision view to help them to serve their client. So these are the companies that actually our graduates are going to. Yeah, rather we only have actually about 36 to 40 graduate students only. Yeah. So now after this year, we graduate about 30-something students now. So this is the space and facility that ISD have. So you will actually have a lab tours going to different places. This is a year design studio. The students use it for their year 1 courses and then spend the time there. So this is a big lab. The year 2, year 3, 4 big labs. You will go to if you want to go lab, we visit here. So all our facilities are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. Students have access anytime they want to go there. If they want to work on their projects, they can go anytime they want. They have access to them. So we actually empower the students. We trust the students actually they actually have their own discipline to work on their own things. Of course, they all go through the safety training before they can use the facilities. We are a multidisciplinary division and program, so there are faculty coming from very different disciplines. So I myself actually I'm originally from ECE, so my work is on embedded system, IC design. So we have faculty working on CS and AI, configurations, user interface, and mechanical engineering, economic designs, design methodology, industry design, even building design, architecture design, graphic design. So it's a different actual mixture of technologies and design together. So last slide I have is actually if you like this is actually this kind of model of learning is active learning model. So all our setting of class is not classroom settings. It's all table discussion, group together, and then work together for that. So this is the model we are learning. Now before we end, so I'll give some time for you to ask questions. But I want to actually ask one of our alumni, Katie, to share some of her experience in ISD. Katie just graduated this year.
Okay, so hello everyone. So I'm happy to be here, to be an alumni to share with you all that who have interest in studying in the major of Integrative Systems and Design. So I'm the first batch of HKUST admission students that come into this major, and I believe all of you will be very happy to have this opportunity to hear from graduates, because at that time when I admit, I didn't have any graduates to hear from their sharing actually what ISD is like. So I will give you a glimpse of the 4 years experience that I have just passed in this university and what I think is really unique for me to be in this major. So first of all, what is ISD? To me, I think one very special thing is that we really learn through project-based experience. So to be honest, the last 4 years have been a difficult time for many Hong Kong students. Many of them may be at home, sitting, facing the computer, just learning through lecturing. But I think one special thing about ISD is despite the COVID situation, we sometimes come back to the lab with mixed mode learning, and we still get the chance to experience a lot, learn to do some 3D modeling, learn to do 3D printing, laser cutting, and all those technical things. And another thing is we have teammates from really diverse backgrounds. So I personally is not a very hardcore engineering-based student, but I learned from the engineering-based students from their very critical thinking and also their system-based analytical skills. And for myself, gradually through the learnings in ISD, you will find your position that what you can contribute in the team, because we work a lot with team-based, and you will slowly find what is your strength, what is your weakness, and how can you collaborate with different teammates with different personalities and different expertise and different backgrounds. So it's basically like a mini society for us in ISD, and we are working together every year on different projects. So I will have a quick recap on what I've gone through throughout this 4 years. First of all is what CY professors just mentioned is we have to submit a design and technology portfolio at the beginning of the year, and despite of that, we have to do a group interview. And for the group interview that we did before, it was in 2019. The group students that we take the interview together was actually some of the best friends that I have had in this university life. And we do some group-based discussion and also some practical interviews that took about half day. And after that, in our year 1, we really need to learn different knowledge from different disciplines. For example, we need to learn system thinking, and we also need to learn sketching, and of course some science-based courses such as mathematics and computer science and physics. We have to have all this basic knowledge as a fundamental for our coming years of year project. And we have also some of the 3D modeling courses to learn to access some of the online-based softwares. And I believe that everyone admitting into ISD may have different background on different disciplines. So that's why, as Professor Siwa mentioned, a self-learning motivation is really important, because we have to acquire ourselves with all those skills before we enter the year project phase. And despite of that, we also have laboratory and spaces for us to try to do some hands-on prototype. And beginning from the second year, we will start to have year projects. And at the beginning, when we started year project, it is a really challenging experience, because we have to try to design a product by ourselves with not much of that experience. And we start learning to use project management tools to set guidelines, to set milestones for us, such that we can complete everything before the final presentation, instead of being a deadline fighter, because actually all the 3D printing machines will be occupied at that time, and you can't be a deadline fighter. So starting from year 2, we got chances to learn to present, learn to self-taught some of the skills, and also ask for the faculty support for some of the lectures if we want some specialized knowledge for this project. And we also, for example, in the year 2 project, we're working on sport gamification. So we actually have chances to go site visits and to learn about what is the industry and what are the specific problems that we need to tackle. And we need to learn about the real needs of those problems, rather than just designing something, but it's useless at last. So we have to go through a very long design process and learn to work as a group to accomplish something at last. And this is the second year project, and for the third year project, we slowly get used to the model of project learning, and we also slowly get used to the team working experience. So we get to have more like technical base or more different presentation styles. For example, you can have some role play in your presentations rather than just talking and just looking at the PowerPoint. And so I think it is very dynamic style of learning in this year project. And finally, it will be the final year project. And to me, I think one of the highlight part of my 4 years of university is really to get the chance to work with industrial partners. So in our final year project, we get to choose our industrial partner or the field that we are interested to work in, and we can choose our group members as well. So as Siwa mentioned, in second year, we have a system thinking and design course. At that time, we cooperated with Hong Kong Tramways. And for me personally, and some of my friends as well, in the final year project, since we have some basic knowledge with Hong Kong Tramways, we decided that there are some possible issues or some problems that we would like to try to tackle or provide a solution to. So therefore, we choose Hong Kong Tramways as our industrial partner in the final year. And this time, we really have more chance to get in depth to learn about, because Hong Kong Tramway is a Hong Kong-based manufacturing, 100% Hong Kong manufactured company. So we learned how actually a tram on Hong Kong Island is being manufactured from the start to the really coming as a public transportation service. And we also see some problems that the company is facing, and we try to propose some solutions. And throughout this journey, we get to go to the tram factory, basically like maybe every 2 to 3 weeks, to have a look at what their progress is and what are the real problems they are facing. And after that phase of redefining the problem, we have to start with proposing a solution, and at last we need to come up with a final presentation to our industrial partner. So on the final presentation day, the partner will actually sit there and you are proposing the solution and also giving a demo or prototype or a working model for them, and they will give you feedback. So I think this is a really treasurable experience, and I believe not most of the not many of the majors in UST or in other institutions in Hong Kong may have this opportunity. And we really need to work as a team, each demonstrate their own expertise. So here are some of the images that we took when we do site visits. You can see we have the opportunity to look at a really scratch form of a tram, and also to ask a lot of questions and do a lot of interviews and do a lot of observations to really find the real problem. And after that, throughout the very, very many late nights sleeping in UST lab, we come up with a solution and also a one-to-one scale corner of the tram to present our solution. So it's actually a new business model for the Hong Kong tramways, and we also come up with a business consultancy report for them as the final presentation package. So we also received very good feedback from the industrial partner, and I think this is a really nice experience as a graduate to have, because we already get the chance to work in depth with industrial partners and know how actually real companies work. And throughout this learning process, we also self-taught a lot of knowledge. For example, presentation skills, for example, some of the business consultancy skills, and also some of the engineering hardcore skills, actually how things come up from a factory to a finalized product. So I think it is a very treasurable experience. And of course, I would like to also give thanks to professors, because in our final year project, throughout the year, we have our faculty members attending our weekly meetings with us every week. And I think it is a really treasurable experience, because you don't get this attention usually from different university majors. So I think this is the very special thing about ISD. You get very low faculty to students rate, and you can learn a lot from their different expertise, and you also get the chance to develop something from scratch by yourself and experience how design thinking is like, how redefining problem is like throughout the 4 years. So basically, we have many different opportunities as well. Throughout the years, we can collaborate with different companies, and we have internship opportunities. This is the sharing today.
Thanks, Katie.